Good morning, Your Honor. May I approach the bench? I don't give a damn what anyone thinks. I stay up all night and I smoke and I drink. I'm a wanted man and I'm blowing town. Don't waste your time trying to hunt me down. The cops are saying I belong behind bars, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty as charged.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new podcast. Tonight is the beginning of the best podcast you will ever hear in the world. It is called Guilty as Charged, the Night Stalker retrospective. The Night Stalker being an old 1970s TV show that I just fell in love with as a kid and always wanted to do a show on. And we're here. And my podcast brother, my partner in this show, is none other than the Gill and Guilty at Charged. Gill Rakatansky.
Thank you, the T in Guilty as Charged.
I know, right? It's my fucking show and you got the better part of the name.
Well, I picked it. Guilty as charged.
So yes, we will be running through the 2 movies and the 20 television shows. This will be our
television shows.
Yes, 20 shows. 20 episodes.
Now we know.
Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. So, yes.
You are a big fan of this, aren't you? I've never ever seen it.
I am. This will be our second attempt at the first movie, as our first attempt I thought was pretty good, but Gil doesn't remember any minute of it, so...
Yes.
If you're lucky enough, you might be able to hear it at the end of the series, as we might release it as a lost episode, or as Gil would say, a shite episode.
No, lost episode, because there's lost episodes and lost films of this, aren't there?
Right.
I looked at the wiki page.
So, this is going to be a video release, so I don't have to cue it all up with you people, but for us, 3, 2, 1, and go. When I say go, hit play, okay, Gil?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, look, he's recording the show.
Yes. Isn't that prescient?
With the cassette tape. Do you remember those?
I actually was looking through cassette tapes today.
All right. I don't know. I do not own any.
Do you not?
No, not anymore.
You don't know what you're missing.
Look, he's drinking beer.
Oh.
Just like Hunter S. Thompson.
You remember when ring pulls came all the way off the can?
Yep. Full tabs, yep.
People would wear them as jewelry.
Yeah. So this movie was released or aired January 11th, 1972. It was I believe, an ABC movie of the week.
And it starred Minnie Pearl.
Yes. No, you're jumping ahead on us. Hey, look, Minnie Pearl's playing at the Fremont.
See, I don't know who Minnie Pearl is, so I thought you
don't know who Minnie Pearl is. Seriously?
Seriously?
Wasn't she? She was like a country singer who was on like Laugh-In or one of those shows, and she always had on a straw hat with a price tag still sticking to it.
Oh, now I know who you mean. But I only know who you mean due to having been in America and seen the fact that, like, even in 1990, fucking reruns of Rowan and Martin's Laughing.
I'm pretty sure. No, she was on Hee Haw. That's what it was.
Was she not? Or did they take the piss out of her on Laughing then?
Yeah, I don't think she was on Laughing.
Oh well. Oh.
Uh-oh.
She's in trouble.
Yep. She's getting...
It's that shirt.
Right?
Well...
Yeah, you're gonna notice a lot of weird clothing in this, that's for sure.
At least she landed in that pile of boxes. that seemed to have knocked her out.
Cushioned the blow.
She was knocked out by the power of cardboard.
And then she fit into a garbage can.
Oh, she's a garbage pail kid. The power of cardboard compels you. Quincy.
It could be, right? Remember those old school opening letters with all these different movies back then? All those shows did that, like Quincy and MASH and all that.
Yep. You're going to talk about this all the way through, and I'll just be remembering vaguely episodes of Petrocelli with Barry Newman.
Petrocelli.
Petrocelli was awesome.
Peel back the chest flap,
So they took this. They took this, the idea for this, from a writer named Jeff Rice. He wrote and created Carl Kolchak and wrote a novel with the idea of the vampire on the loose in Vegas.
He's Anne Rice's dad.
Richard Matheson, who everybody knows, adapted the Rice book into the screenplay. And then Dan Curtis, who was a producer and also did Dark Shadows, he made the movie. And Darren McGavin, who's the man, the myth, the legend, of course, is Kolchak. It's been in a ton of stuff, like, The Christmas Story that's on every day on Christmas all day long, or at Christmas time on TBS.
Never seen it.
You're adding a lot to this show, Will.
Well. Oh.
Gwil. It was originally called the Kolchak Papers, but there was a movie called the Valachi Papers that came out at the same time, so they changed it to the Night Stalker.
That was quite popular in the 70s, though, to have things that were called the something papers. Like Pickwick Papers, right. And that was a UK one. Well, it's true, there was a show called Pickwick Papers. I could just lie to you about, like, British culture. What is it with everybody wearing light-coloured suits? Well, obviously he's a doctor, so...
They're like a seersucker suit. Seersucker suit.
Seersucker suit. I like that hat. I like the way it looks like it was designed for a child and stolen by a man.
Yeah, so Richard Matheson, of course, is the writer of I Am Legend, or The Last Man on Earth, with Vincent Price.
Yep, great film. Although
Shrinking Man
doesn't have the right ending though.
He wrote The Shrinking Man.
I've never seen The Shrinking Man.
And he wrote Hell House.
All right.
Also known as Legend of Hell House.
And a rather close friend of mine.
Poor Cheryl. I feel just terrible.
Ooh,
that's
a close friend of his.
No, I want to help if I can.
Yeah, he's like
creepy uncle.
She's like his lover. They're lovers.
What?
She dated
Yep.
while, but never the same man.
I know, right?
Fucking hell.
What the
That's
hell?
Vegas for you.
She even took karate lessons.
Yeah. When they wrote the script, they wanted her to be a hooker too, but ABC didn't want her to be a prominent figure as a hooker, so they changed the character.
She looks familiar though.
Yeah, her name is I'll get you in a minute. What's her name? Carol Lindley.
I don't recognize the name, but I recognize the face.
Never seen her face, you don't forget, huh?
I was kind of freaked out by his hands there though. He just looks like he's meant to be a guy that works with his hands, and he was running about there like a walking advert for arthritis.
What took you so long, Kolchak?
Wow, Carol Lindley is 73 years old.
We'll all get there one day.
Yep. 73 years old, man. We are gonna be... Wow. She has not aged well.
An impressive collection of hats that they've got going on in this.
Come on.
But yeah, she was a character actor in a lot of stuff.
She played characters.
Yes, always a different character in every show she did.
Oh, that's a rather unflattering... What would you... butt camel toe?
What do you think, he threw her that far? He must be a strong guy, right? So she was on the TV series Another World. You remember that
No.
show? Soap
Don't
opera?
live in America.
Oh, that's right. The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I remember the Man from U.N.C.L.E., yep.
But she didn't lose it here.
Yeah, she was on that.
Not looking forward to the film. It looks
No.
like a massive pile of shit.
Her movie credits include Beware the Blob.
Oh.
Nothing in
Anything else interesting?
Only our foot.
Quincy M.E. you mentioned earlier.
I mentioned that on When This Crashed.
Yes,
Oh.
you did.
We can't remember because we started the
You
first 2
thrower.
minutes of this, didn't we? And then my router went, not Kolchak again.
His router went.
That sounds like an Australian command.
Wow, she was in Howling 6,
Howling
or is
6?
it 4? Yeah, Howling 6,
Is that the marsupials?
The Freaks.
Oh,
She was also in the Poseidon Adventure, 1972.
it might be Howling that I remember her from. Actually, how sad's that? There's someone I remember from Howling 6. Nobody should ever remember anyone from Howling 6.
I love the his editor. He's a good guy. He's in all the shows too.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, they have a good rapport together. Is that the word? Rapport. Yes.
He's like Kolchak's Walter Skinner.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's a good example right there. They play off of each other really well.
Yeah, because of course Chris Carter was hugely inspired by this series apparently.
Why is he giving that guy a glass of milk?
That wasn't milk, that was semen.
It's a big glass.
Well, he didn't have much to do. And she was in the next
That's
room.
the definition of sperm burger.
Oh, white socks though. Were those trousers?
Does that surprise you? Look, Carl. You're not
You know, they're not very fashionable back in the 70s.
boys, they all think they're pretty good.
I'm really not that keen on his hat, to be honest.
You really make me feel wanted.
Well, you're gonna have to learn to like it because he wears that hat all the time.
Well, I was never that keen on Columbo's raincoat.
All lost a lot of blood.
That's because you wanted to see him naked underneath
Yeah,
it.
well, who didn't?
What?
Peter, come and falk me.
The bureau to mess with at this stage. You could make some unofficial you could check around the country.
You ever notice that whenever they're filming something in Vegas, they always go, let's do a scene by the pool just so we can have girls in bikinis walking past?
Why not? So the movie is directed by John Llewellyn Moxey, who did a nice little film called A Taste of Evil with Barbara Stanwyck,
Alright.
Barbara Perkins, and Roddy
Good
McDowell.
film.
All right. So he's been, you know, a pretty prolific director of spooky movies. He did The City of the Dead,
Good
1960s,
film.
called American name was Horror Hotel. Death Trap, 1962. The Face of a Stranger. Circus of Fear. So he's done a lot of stuff, as well as TV for the Avengers and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
What did happen to Baby Jane?
I don't know. I just don't know.
I was also paying attention to the film at the same time. You'll be quite happy to know. So he thinks that he's chasing a guy that thinks he's Dracula, and his friend went,
Yes.
well, yeah, whatever. Look at that girl. And they just ran away.
Right?
I'm not sure which one of them I think is correct at the moment.
That's right. Every container in the place, their entire
'Cause-
stock.
Yeah, that's how it is. Pretty much every episode, every movie, whatever. He always stumbles into a weird murderer / monster, and no one ever believes him up until like the end, but they still don't want to believe him. It's kind
So
of
this
like
could be a vampire.
yes.
Right, because I wasn't...
It's how the MO of the show is, you know.
Yeah, but with the... Like,
Got that cool music in the background right now.
No, I was just thinking that because it kind of influenced the X-Files, that sometimes the monsters wouldn't be monsters. But then it's the 70s, so people probably really liked monsters and wanted it to just always be a real monster. Is there an episode where it's not a monster? Oh, you can't say because that's a spoiler.
No, it's not really a spoiler. It is kind of the Monster of the Week show. Basically, what the X-Files was built off of. Kevin Carter.
Oh, where's Hot Lips?
Chris Carter. Yeah, right? Chris Carter was a big fan of this show, and it was his inspiration for the X-Files.
And then they did a remake of Kolchak.
Yeah, which wasn't very good.
Never saw it. Never saw that, never saw this.
I
saw the X-Files.
I watched it, and I owned the DVDs, but it wasn't a very good show. It got canceled right away. They did have one cool thing, though. In the first episode of the remake, when they went to the newspaper, the new Kolchak walked by the old Kolchak, like a computerized version, I guess, and he tipped his hat to him. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, so you just got one tiny cameo.
Yeah, well, he was dead at the time, so.
Was he?
Yeah, but it was
I was wondering why you were saying computerized. I thought he just meant a lot.
Yeah. They CGI'd the old Kolchak into the show.
Are you now going to be able to spot the exact scene from the original Kolchak that they've used?
Are you suggesting that each of these women was
you can see, you can tell.
At present, the evidence points that way. However, I couldn't and wouldn't.
Does this remind you a little bit of the over Macho Grande interrogation from Airplane 2?
Is it possible that he killed these women by biting them in the throat for the express purpose of drinking their blood?
So, an estimated audience of 75 million viewers turned into The Night Stalker.
Fucking hell.
It was 8:30 movie on a Tuesday night.
Do you know that 75 million people is 11 million more people than live in the UK?
Right.
And at the time,
So
that would have probably been about 25% of the entire US population.
So the Nielsen company said that Kolchak attracted 33% of all the country's television sets that night.
Oh, well, yeah, must have. You guys have been fucking like bunnies since then. Because I looked up the US population the other day and it's massive. Well,
So, yeah.
it's massive. And there's
ABC
a lot
was
of
really
you.
shocked.
What have your people got on this parkway?
ABC was really shocked with the rating, and it had beaten Brian's Song as the highest rated TV movie of all time. Imagine that.
So when they made this TV movie, was it just going to be a TV movie? And
Hey, that's Andre the Giant.
what? Where?
That was the joke from the first attempt. You said that guy looked like Andre the Giant.
I thought it looked like that guy from Goldfinger.
Him right there. Sheriff Lobo.
White male adult.
He does
That's
look
who it is,
Andre
Sheriff
the
Lobo.
Giant. I'm funny when
This
I'm
is-
drunk.
Yeah, you are. You're funny when you're not drunk.
Oh, I'm just.
So yeah, it was going to be just a regular movie of the week, like I said, and it got such huge ratings that they put into production a second movie really quick, which was called The Night Strangler, which we'll be doing next.
Is that same
And then,
guy?
yeah, same guy. And then that one was pretty popular as well, that they decided to do a series, and that's where things started to go,
Oh, I read that on
bad
the
for
wiki
the-
page that it all went a bit askew because of the. Was it just the title? People didn't associate the title because it was just called Kolchak.
You can throw away that cassette.
So,
yeah,
changed
they've
it to
changed-
Kolchak Night
I think it was
Stalker?
called The Night Stalker. Yeah, they messed around with it a lot.
No, was it not that it was just called Kolchak, so people didn't remember that was the character from The Night Stalker? So after
Yeah.
a certain number of episodes, they then rebranded it as Kolchak the Night Stalker, so that people would go, "Oh yeah, that Kolchak guy from the Night Stalker."
Yeah.
And it's bad.
I remember McGavin wanted to, take control of the show, and
Apparently, he's an
he had a lot of
unlisted
back and
executive
forths.
producer.
Kolchak, I wanna have a
Yeah,
talk
he
with
had a
you.
lot of back and
Boys,
forth
there's
with
no reason to bother the
Paramount
doctor
and everything about the
I'll
show, and
statement in my office.
he fought with a lot of the directors, I guess, and he really cared about the character.
You're becoming a real pest. I'll have to have a word or two with Vincenzo about you.
That hat's kind of
What's a
growing.
monster is that guy's eyebrows are monsters.
Yeah. Well, if you can't, is that the guy that played Charlton Heston before Charlton Heston turned up to play Charlton Heston in Wayne's World?
Will you watch what you're saying? You know these guys. You could find yourself out of a job.
What are you saying?
You know what I quite like? See, these days you could actually just go and prize the gun out of Charlton Heston's cold dead hands.
Do me a favor and stay away from me for a few days.
Damn apes.
Get your paws off me, you damn dirty apes. It's the biggest oxymoron in the entire world is the Planet of the Apes. Charlton Heston is completely against guns and basically makes the point at the start of the film that he's leaving the planet to get away from that type of person.
Some screwball who he's a vampire is loose in Las Vegas and people ought to be told.
If there's a screwball running around loose in Las Vegas, his last night begins with a K.
It's a good line right there.
You have with the boys downtown. No vampire stories. Clear?
Are you clear? We see.
The boys downtown also reminds me of Airplane.
How about a special featurette with a border of roses?
What are the boys on the board going to make of this? It cuts to a table that's surrounded by children. They just all go, screw it! Why would you have a TV that wasn't on?
I fell asleep.
She was sleeping.
What were you saying?
It must have been something that you put in my drink, creepy uncle.
Well, I think that Vincenzo has a new sense of a tree stump.
Wait a minute. He's a middle-aged man who just wakes her up with a drink and she immediately starts to undress him. I'm moving to Vegas. Oh,
Ho-ho.
I hate that like 60s and 70s kiss. You know, where they do the shoulder thing. There's nothing happening here.
It's a lot of fakeness going on right now.
What was that?
You mean his chest hair? I was reading on Wikipedia that it's actually a highly trained weasel. Just lies across his chest. I'm digging the music for this. See, I was trying to predict where it was going to go. It's like the music from all 70s US crime series was brilliant. And then it just kind of tailed off up until Crime Story, when they just went, fuck it, use Runaway by Del Shannon. Everybody loves that.
Yeah. Hey, unbelievably, you said that in the first episode, too.
Did I?
Yeah, you talked about Crime Story.
Oh,
Del Shannon.
Crime Story. You know that, did I say this in the first attempt, that the keyboard solo on Runaway was the first ever keyboard solo?
Looks like Bela Lugosi's struck again.
Not including, like, church music, which always has, like, a keyboard solo, but the little that was the first time somebody had played keyboard as a lead instrument. It's awesome.
A few years old, I think.
I can play it at 1/4 speed.
Barney, may I,
Yeah, but take it
So since 1990,
Kolchak, the Daily News.
if this is true, this movie here is the 5th highest rated,
My best contact in Las Vegas.
only behind
Ellen O'Brien. She'd switched
number 4, The Walton's Thanksgiving Story.
Well, for TV movies.
Nope. Yes. Number 3 was The Burning Bed. Number 2 is Little Ladies of the Night, which I don't know what that is. And number 1, The Day After. That's the number 1 highest rated movies on TV since, I guess, 1983 that movie came out.
I don't think I've seen any of those films you mentioned.
Yeah.
What were the names of them? And I'll try and guess the synopsis.
The Walton's Thanksgiving Story.
Right, 5 of the Waltons die.
Good night, John Boy. The Burning Bed.
That's just some woman with really bad cystitis.
I think that's about an abused woman. I think it starred Farrah
All
Fawcett.
right. I just thought it was a lady with a large amount of cranberry juice. The Day After, that's someone going to Planned Parenthood. Oh, topical.
I think that one was actually
is that a nuclear war?
A Day After a Nuclear Bomb, yeah.
I think I might have seen that actually when I was a kid.
1983.
Yeah, I think that was shown on TV over here.
Yeah.
And it was it not heavily complained about for being like such a big film? Well, not like a big film, but like they made a big deal about this. Like, oh, we're doing a film about the day after a nuclear war, and it was really horrific. So all these people tuned in to watch this film. They're like, oh, I wonder what life's going to be like after a nuclear war. And then they were really freaked out that it turned out that everything was going to be fucked. Like people just wandering about with their hair falling out as they just like try and talk to people while they're dying on the pavement.
He's hypnotizing you with his eyes.
Now see, that's a callback to the Blood of Dracula, isn't it?
So he just killed a Doberman with just his bare hands, and now he's killed the second victim.
See, to be fair, Dobermans are the pussy of the dog world.
The pussy of the dog world.
The pussy of the dog world.
You'll never give up. What do you mean?
He's still not watching television.
They're in a newsroom. They're not gonna watch TV.
Yeah, but look at the way his TV's set up. It's not for him to watch. It's for the person that he's talking to.
I'm tired of the argument. I'm tired of pressing from all around me to blow the story up on the one hand and keep it under wraps.
What's that noise?
I am tired of being the middleman.
I'm drinking some Diet Coke.
Alright. I'm drinking some, some
gin and juice.
No. Sadly not. I am drinking some Cola Zero. It has 2 calories. Did he just say Gill?
Yes, he said this nut. So yeah, he said Gill. News.
News, not suppress it. You know darn well why we're soft-peppering.
He's got a point, but I mean he's wanting to print stuff about an ongoing crime investigation, which that could result in copycats and a whole manner of bad things.
He's just a newsman who wants to report what his big story, but they will never report his story.
But he is being irresponsible. Like the police are going like, don't say this guy's a vampire, and he's going, okay. Everyone is a fucking vampire!
All the world's a vampire. Dum, 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 dum. Isn't that a song?
Were you meaning the Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah.
The world is a vampire.
Yes. That's what I meant. I didn't know it was the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. Billy Corgan's a prick. I'm not saying that just because of personal bias. It's because of deeply held and backed up personal bias, because I saw Smashing Pumpkins and he was a right prick.
Yeah. Why would you wear a suit and then wear a cowboy hat with it?
Why would you wear a cowboy hat and not match it up with a suit? Are you mental? I mean, look at this guy. He's ready for the rodeo the next day.
Yeah, well, this guy is a car salesman, so you can expect that from
Yeah,
him.
he's got that fucking jade necklace. What a man. That's what all men should look like in the future.
Carl, if you keep going on like this, you're gonna get fired again. Let's see, how many times?
Right, so he just met a waitress
Twice in Washington.
who
New York. Twice in
is.
Chicago.
He didn't just meet her.
And once.
He did.
They have a relationship.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said she was a close friend of his, but then he just goes home and rants at her about current events. And every once in a while he wakes her up with a drink and she goes, "Oh, I better undress you now." This relationship is not going to go well.
Well, I am serious. That weirdo's hit 5 girls in their all-night room.
Oh, and now he said that he's not going to support her.
5.
So, yeah.
He doesn't want her to work at night. He wants her to quit her job.
Well, then, if he wants her to quit her job, he should be offering to support her.
I think that's what he said.
He should be providing alternate means of support.
Will you please be serious?
I used to go to a thing called the Vampire Society, and they didn't have marbles in their mouths, but a lot of them did have like fangs, and not like shitty fangs, but like
not the fake wax.
no, like
fake plastic
they would
fangs.
have like they would go. There's a dentist near me that you go along to, and they take a cast of your teeth, and then they will make you fangs and match them up in colour to the rest of your teeth and everything for like £20. And as much as that sounds like that might be cool, yes, I did have a set. At the same time, no, just a bunch of deluded pricks. They were called the Vampire Society. You would go along and they would just be sitting drinking beer going like, "I read Nan Rice's book." Oh, congratulations for you. Everybody in this fucking room's read Nan Rice's book. Did you enjoy it? No.
You are a weirdo. Just saying.
Oh.
According to the legend, the victim of
Got
the
wood?
vampire will ultimately rise again as the living dead, and must be destroyed in a similar manner. From any source available.
So everyone that this guy's killed has to be killed now. Newty's run away. Is that her from the Brady Bunch? She's afraid of his haircut.
He's in there.
Newty. Oh. He's overpowering him with the power of a bowl cut. Quick, jump out the window and turn into a bat. Oh, he jumped out a window.
I was doing double duty as night editor when the PD squawk box went crazy about a wild brawl at the old town hospital.
I think Newty's run away. That is some impressive haircut. Why didn't he hit Kolchak? That one cop shoot that other cop by mistake. Who knows? Newty probably knows. But he's hiding. Oh, Kolchak's on the case. He was not taking due care of attention.
Thursday, May 27th, 8:20 a.m., and things were rolling. Our morning edition hit the streets, recapping all the action at the hospital.
Rolling,
The
rolling,
TV people, as
rolling.
usual, had missed out completely, and the radio stations were literally reading our copy on the air. But now the whole lid was really
Newty
had been identified.
Sorry I'm late. I just got these out of the suit.
Now,
Well, if Newty's being quiet, we can pay attention to this scene.
Scotland Yard and the Interpol findings. Subject, Janos Skorzny. Born in Craiesti, Romania, 1899.
Now, wait just a minute. You trying to tell me this guy's over 70 years old? Come on, Bernie, your boys have come up with a wrong man.
Like hell we have. These facts have been triple-checked and confirmed. Now look, I've been up all night and I...
His haircut looked old enough.
All right, Bernie, just take it easy. Let's hear it.
All right. Skorzny's father died in 1923. He left somewhere between $75 and $100 million.
Hello, Newty.
At this time, he began to
Hello.
travel.
Oh, you're back again.
Am I back now?
Nightlife.
I don't know what's going on. I've been trying to talk for the last 30 minutes.
Oh, we're only 37 minutes in.
Just in time for the German Blitz.
Well then, all this silence, I've been trying to talk.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what's going on. But I heard you keep it interesting, so.
Sorry, what were you saying? Such formality.
I was gonna ask you if you can guess what the rating is on IMDb for this movie.
That's a tricky one. That's a good poser.
Remember all the shit that I've told you?
Yeah, but also, I mean, because this is like a cult thing, and...
Exactly.
6.8.
Close. 7.8. So as like I told you, this is really beloved. You know, a lot of people love this.
Has anyone been able to isolate why?
Isolate why? Don't make me go over there.
You can't come over here.
Oh no? I'll make my way over there if you start dissing my show. I can find another co-host, you know.
Have you seen what happens when Disney princesses try and leave their land?
I was gonna have Gary do it with me, but you know how his internet is.
Yeah. We can recreate it.
Right?
Womp womp.
I don't know why my mic died all of a sudden. I think I need to get a new sound card.
No, it's fine now. It could have just been an intermittent, nasty problem. Ironically, well, it'll be recorded perfectly on your end.
No, I don't think I was getting any output.
That's what she said.
Maybe my router went out.
How come the same man was slugged in the head doesn't
Router.
No, I saw those gas in his head, and whatever was trickling down from those wounds.
Look at all the other reporters listening to everything he says.
He saw his gash.
No, let him hang himself. Then we'll finally be rid of him.
So far, he has killed 4, probably 5.
Let him hang himself.
Willis.
The coroner said that those bite marks
That
on
is
the
pretty
throat
cruel, saying let him hang himself.
really confirmed the
Did they think that he shot Cecil the lion?
Well, they're not thinking that he's, you know, Robin Williams or anything.
Now, you can go on operating as if you were an ordinary man. That's up to you.
An ordinary man.
I always thought Robin Williams would just like spontaneously combust.
Assumption that he's a real live vampire.
Yeah.
Now, the research that I've been able to find.
Wait a minute, Kolchak, have you lost your... Can you imagine?
Vampire, what?
This town would be in if the public were told we were actually looking for a vampire? Not to mention
But he already said in this fucking article 3 times. Vampire.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, but they wouldn't let him print it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I really can't believe that you guys are so afraid of appearing stupid that you'll ignore the only possible way of nailing him.
You listen, Kolchak, and you listen good. We'll handle this by ourselves. And
You listen to me, you see?
He wants to nail him.
Public observation, you've blown it already. Look here. Look what's appeared in my paper today.
So what awesome, interesting facts do you know about this from your book?
sit down.
You have to remember and not, like, skip forward in facts. You have to keep the facts, like, pertinent
Yeah.
to what we're watching.
Just the facts, man. Look at that guy's eyebrows.
He could be a vampire. He's starting to hypnotize me.
The world's
Oh,
a vampire.
jeez. Being cutesy with him. Oh, yep, I'll nod slowly.
Sir. All right, Ed. Let's get on.
Alright, Ed.
So is he going to persuade everyone that they should,
Well, 2 departments combined.
like, look for this guy like they're actually looking for a vampire by just continuously saying, well, just look for him like he's a vampire?
Dusk to dawn. Letting our cars patrolling
From dusk till dawn? That's a vampire reference.
complete cooperation from
Right?
Yeah.
Think they knew what they were doing?
No.
Maybe that's where Robert Rodriguez got the name of it from.
What did you make of the series?
Kid?
What did you make of the series?
Oh, the Robert Rodriguez one? I liked
No, the
it.
fucking Bob Hope one in the parties.
Once they got out of the movie, I thought, it was good.
Are they making a second series?
I believe so. It left off as a sequel.
Like Wayward Pines.
Yeah, well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I think I do believe there is going to be a second season of it, and it should be coming on pretty soon.
Oh well, I'll get to see it on Netflix over here.
Love films.
No, Netflix, not Love Film.
No, you actually have Netflix over there.
No, they've. Yes, we've got fucking Netflix. We don't live in the Stone Age.
You don't tell me that you're finally going to...
It's not like actual
Well,
fucking Army of Darkness.
It doesn't.
We've got
doesn't,
Amazon Prime as well. In fact, we've got Amazon. Who else? We get Google. We only started getting Google like on Tuesday, but we're getting used to it.
Janos Skorzny. I thought.
We even get Facebook.
Wow, now you're really
Yeah,
going
showing
overboard.
off.
Sod off, you sod. Don't you like the music?
Yeah, I said that already. Digging the tunes. I like the fact that
It's a lot of,
he's riding about listening to Police Scanner as well. With a bit of jazz.
That's how he gets
bit
everywhere.
of jazz in the background.
I know, right? It's like
David Lynch. Oh, but now he's just going to do some, like, fucking Dukes of Hazzard style driving.
the only thing that really changes is the car. He has like a yellow Mustang in the other show in the show.
Nice. Does it explain where he gets it from?
No, it's just his car.
Nah, it's not so nice then. So he's got 2 films where he's driving about in like a kind of... he's smacking the shit out of people.
Yeah, he's like the only vampire that can't turn into a bat or shit, you know? He's just really strong, he can beat them all up.
Oh, they're all attacking him. Do you think he can beat them all off? No, he was...
They let him... Now, what kind of cops would let him get up instead of putting handcuffs on him, right? Ooh, that's a nice tackle right into the pool.
I've got the internet. I know that's not what they do.
Oh, have you been arrested a few times?
No, I've never actually been arrested. Believe it or not, it's true. And now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah,
Let's stop doing that.
No, I've never been arrested. Have you ever been arrested?
Nope, never. I'm a good boy.
Have you ever been in a wee bit of trouble with the police?
No, I've been questioned, but never in trouble.
What were you questioned for? A murder.
Because, no, my old job where I worked got. Oh, look at that. He just stares at him and they all stop. You see the bullet hole in his head?
That's just a scratch.
Yeah, it grazed him.
That didn't.
My old job before they closed down, I got robbed by gunpoint, so of course they had to question me because they thought I was involved.
Oh, you were involved? There was a guy putting a gun at you?
Yep. But they questioned me for like 4 hours in the little white room to see if I would admit guilt.
Yeah, I got questioned for 15 minutes in the back of a police car because I did a pee in a street.
Nice.
And it wasn't even. Well, it was a lane. It wasn't a street. It was a lane. And the bus that I was meant to be getting didn't turn up, and the next bus wasn't for an hour and a half, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. There weren't any toilets. I went up a lane, and then the police looked up the lane and went, "If we looked even harder, we could have seen your penis." I was like, "Oh, well, fucking thanks a lot for that."
You should have said, "No, you can't, because I don't have a
Yeah,
penis."
it's sexist.
Just because I have a beard doesn't mean I have a penis.
Oh, now he gets to do the relaxing at the end of the room, being condescending thing.
Yeah.
You notice the rest of the press have just stopped turning up. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, well, I think they...
Kolchak's going to be going on about vampires again.
You have two choices. Either he was shot, or your entire police department is blown up.
Ed, let's admit it. We had the man headed hold him.
But there was loads of witnesses, so they know that this guy's not normal.
Right, they just don't care.
And Kolchak, he's not normal as well.
No, he's not.
He's properly butting heads with them.
Well, let's say it's agreeable if we decide to follow your...
Like I said, it becomes a theme of the show.
But what do all the colours on the map mean?
Probably everywhere there was an attack.
Get on with it.
There's been a lot of attacks in that red place then. So how many episodes were there meant to be of this?
I think just 20, because it got cancelled before.
I know, see, I read that there was... Oh god, he's...
There was like a third movie supposedly to be made, but it never got made.
I read about a movie that's made from other people acting in a thing and scenes from previous episodes and just him doing a voiceover.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird stuff, but we can get into that at a later date.
It's called premeditated murder.
Once we get into the series.
It's looking good so far, but it is like a kind of supernatural Quincy, Petricelli, not Ironside, because, well...
Yeah, there's no wheelchair.
No, it was just also the music. The music for Ironside was fucking awesome.
Nero Wolf.
Who gets paid for that? What are you going to do for the music? I was just thinking you're going to hit this one key on the piano for ages and then just have like big horns coming in going do 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 do. I could do that.
Sure, why not?
His eyebrows are not happy.
I might like to be in on this too.
Does he not realise that pretty much only 2 other characters actually like him.
Doesn't this remind you of like the scene from Jaws 2?
Oh yeah.
Right. They're all meeting. I don't see a shark. Seaweed?
Let's walk 10 feet away and then whisper.
Police procedures. If feasible, Scorsese is to be taken alive and held for trial. Trial? That's right, trial. Trial.
Trial by fire.
All right. In return for what? You will get the exclusive rights of the
Does it get all Hill Street Blues at one point? Where he's got to like give a big speech to them all and then go, be careful out there. Well, is he handing out silver crosses? Is that not really fucking expensive?
Oh, they'll just do it on the budget of Las Vegas.
That's...
Because I know I'm right.
I'm starting to like the hat.
You know I'm right.
You better.
Yeah, because he knows it's not a good hat. I'm starting to get that from him.
Oh, it's a cheap hat, cheap suit.
I like the suit.
Cheap car.
Condescending eyebrows.
Yep, they're all like, we just got him.
They're going to try and
We
set
just
him
screwed
up.
him
They're just telling him that he can basically... They're lulling him into a false sense of security. That's what I'm getting.
Kolchak's coming back.
Yep. Kolchak's coming back.
It's very much like a child.
Yep, this movie, man, I don't know, this show just hooked me right away when I was a kid.
I'm liking it.
I mean, what did I say? This was from 1972, so I was like 3.
I was like -5.
I just saw it years later.
Mickey Rooney.
Years later in replay. He looks like him, right? A cheap Mickey Rooney.
I think I found the house.
Was that just like a random guy, or did I miss him earlier on?
You missed him earlier
Is
on.
he like his Bow Street Runners, like if he was Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, he's just like, you know,
this guy
one
that
of
helps
his
him out.
one of his tipsters and stuff. Alright, you can see that the sun's starting to get daylight out there.
Yeah. Perfect time for attacking a vampire.
Right, after he told the cops, don't attack him at night. Don't try to arrest him at night. But of course, he's got to go there. Because he is the hero of the show.
Well, he's doing it really surreptitiously by running up in the dark wearing that bright suit.
Yep, it's also his trademark. He always has that suit.
I like how, like, from a distance, it just looks like it's one colour.
From a distance.
His suit looks just one tone, but close up it is striped.
Shadow puppets.
That'd be really good if you frightened the vampire by standing outside the window doing an impression of a dog. Arf, 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 arf. Crocodile. Oh, look, it's a snake.
His pants split.
I think when you're creeping into the house of a vampire, you shouldn't, like, turn round.
Right? Creeping backwards.
You're like, oh, I'll just make sure that I, as well as open the window in a loud manner, then close it in probably an even louder manner.
I like how there's no background music or anything, though. You're like in the atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Everything's quiet.
He was just looking for beer. Typo negative. Remember them?
Mm-hmm. They're still around, aren't they?
The lead singer died.
Oh, is that the guy? Was it Dimebag Darrell?
No, he was the guitarist in Pantera. I met him once.
See, I don't know my music, my heavy metal too much.
Actually, I had a bit of a run-in with the drummer once by mistake.
You have a lot of run-ins.
It was an accident. It's like
you're a big run-in man, aren't you?
No, they had like an entire section of the club cornered off just for Pantera to sit in, which meant there was like fucking 5 people sitting there, and 2 of them weren't even in Pantera, and one of Pantera wasn't even there, and my regular seat was in there, but nobody sitting in it. And there was a couple of us that were just like, well, you know, they're sitting way over there, why can't we just go in and sit at just the opposite side of that bar where we usually fucking sit? And then the drummer came up, and he was so busy signing all these fucking autographs for everyone, and I already had his autograph because I'd met them years before, and I just wrote a note that just said, can we just come in and sit in the bar? Because I figured like, he was so busy there was no way to actually like have a conversation. So I just wrote this note, and I held it up in front of his face, and he took it off me, and he signed it, and he handed it back to me. I just tore it up and just fucking threw it at him and walked away in disgust. And apparently he was like totally gobsmacked, going like, what the fuck just happened there? And they had like one of the bouncers from the club who was making sure that nobody was trying to get into that bit of the bar, who was standing and saw the whole thing and was pissing himself laughing, just going like, oh, well, no. He read the note, so he knew exactly what had happened.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was like the time that I walked up to Lemmy and said, oh, I really liked Hawkwind when I was growing up. And he went, oh, fuck off, you cunt. Like, what the fuck, man? I just said I really liked the band that made you Lemmy.
Nice. No matter where you go, you always cause trouble, though.
Yeah, fucking Chad Kroeger from Nickelback called me a cunt as well.
Oh, well. Why would you talk to him?
I wasn't talking to him, he was standing behind me in a queue. That's how sad Chad Kroeger is. I was going into a club and he was in the queue behind me and I didn't know. And someone in front of me said, why is it so busy tonight? And the person next to them said, oh, Nickelback were playing at the Barrowlands. I said, who would go and see that shite? And
and none of them knew that he was standing right behind you?
He is just a really average looking motherfucker.
Yeah, but still, anyone who listens to Nickelback would know.
Yeah, but this was a bunch of people that don't listen to Nickelback.
That's funny. So he called you a cunt?
Yep.
Wow.
I've not been clubbing in ages.
Yeah, well, you're past that age.
I know. Getting old. No, I'm not. That looks really uncomfortable for sleeping in, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if you're a vampire, it's not. They like the dirt.
I do actually really like those curtains. I was looking at those curtains going, oh, wish they still made curtains like that. But they do still make curtains like that, but they're really fucking expensive. He just pulled that curtain like 2 inches. Oh, this will be surreptitious.
That's what she said.
He's the worst sneak ever. Can you imagine if he was in fucking the IMF?
I love the music. It's so like it just plays and then it doesn't.
Yeah. It's a really nicely made film. And it's quite short as well. I mean, it's only, 74 minutes? But then when you include all the adverts, it was probably a 3-hour special.
There was a 90-minute movie, so 16 minutes of commercials.
That is back in the days when there was less commercials.
Right.
She's had it.
He never killed her.
I like that dress as well. I'm really enjoying the 70s patterns.
Nice makeup too, like she's like ghostly white and she's got a gouge in her neck.
Is Ghostly White another American celebrity from the 70s that I don't know of?
No. She's white like a ghost.
I know!
Oh, Jesus. I know!
Minnie Pearl.
I think I like you better when you're
Minnie
drunk.
Pearl, Ghostly White.
I think I like you better when you're drunk.
Well,
I know!
Well, I'll give you the website address of like Asda Direct, and just every time we're doing a show, you can just send around a bottle of Jack Daniels.
I know!
Oh, I like the way his face disappears in the shadow there. I thought she was being untied by the Invisible Man.
He's like, oh shit, he's home. The vampire is home.
He's being very noisy. He shouldn't have brought that fucking jazz trio with him.
He's holding the bottle like it's a lantern. Like the Scooby-Doo lantern.
I don't understand why that guy thinks that haircut is able to make him blend in any way whatsoever. Oh, is he just keeping her alive to drain her bit by bit?
Yeah. So he said she's set up like a blood bank.
That's a good idea. Why didn't he just do that to everybody else they found dead? He could have been living like a fucking vampire king by this point. He fucked up by killing people and then robbing a fucking blood bank. That's what set them on to him. Or is he giving her, giving her a transfusion there? If he hung that bottle up.
The vampire dude, he died in 1978. He was 60 years old. So he died like 6 years after this movie.
That's quite sad, really.
Yeah. He's another character actor in a ton of stuff. He was on General Hospital in the 60s.
Another one of these actors that plays characters.
Yep. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Newty.
Fuck you, Gill.
Character actors. Every actor's a fucking character actor.
He was in everything, though. The Mod Squad, Hawaii Five-0, Mission Impossible, Night Gallery, Streets of San Francisco, Kung Fu.
Cool. That's a good list.
He was in everything. Those teeth look good.
They do, but he doesn't look that scared. He looks more constipated.
I think he's a pretty good vampire, though.
Does he talk at all? Oh, that would be a spoiler.
No.
Oh, well. I think it's a shame when they have vampires that don't talk. It just kind of makes them a little bit one-dimensional.
At least he's not sparkling.
Oh, that'd be brilliant if just suddenly changed from being Kolchak to it just being her that's tied to the bed. Like, just her doing a voiceover. He comes into the room once a night. I don't think he even notices me. I fucking hate the Twilight films so much.
I've never watched a single one, and I never will. Never, ever,
You
ever.
should. Well, we're doing them all on To Drink Milk.
Yeah.
We're not that cruel. Why is Kolchak thinking that he's going to be afraid of crosses when there's a fucking cross on the... He's in a house with stained glass windows that includes a cross.
Is there a cross in the stained glass?
Yeah, I'd say rewind it, but that would kind of spoil the idea of a commentary somewhat.
Oh,
but
well, they'll show it. They'll show it again in a few minutes.
It was halfway up the stairs.
Yeah, they're gonna show it. They'll show it
the
again.
Stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. It's not at the bottom. It's not at the top. But that is the stair where I always stop. Bit of culture. Bring a bit of culture to the show there with some A. Milne. Or, as most people would know it, that's that song that Kermit's little nephew Robin sang on the Muppets.
I shot them 6 times. So pretty much this vampire, all he does is throw people around, and
he's a tosser.
You miss all the gore because they can't really have much gore in this day and age.
Yeah, 1972 television movies are not particularly known for their... How did he know it was light outside?
Because it was almost, it was almost dawn when he got to the house.
I suppose.
Remember I mentioned that?
Yeah, but also, why were the stained glass windows not lighter then?
Gill, it's a movie. Let it go.
I'm just...
Seriously.
The only...
Seriously, Gill, let it
the
go.
only thing about this that bugs me is that he's persuaded the...
I don't see a cross
There
in
was
there.
a cross. When he jumped down, there was a cross in that stained glass window pattern. Pretty sure of it.
I'm not seeing it.
Now it looks like a fucked up clown. It's like just one giant Rorschach podcast. What's Gill seeing in the windows this week?
Uh-oh. Andre the Giant showed up.
It's generally...
Can you guess what happens now?
Are they going to be pissed off because they walked in and he was holding a hammer and, like, firing a stake in... Oh, well, maybe they haven't, because, like, he's... I'd have thought he would have been straight in fucking jail for that. Because last week I hammered a stake into a guy's chest in front of some police officers and they were not pleased.
They were very angry at me.
Yep. They said, "Don't do it again!" And I said, "Okay. What if I shoot him?" Why is she happy at the idea of marrying him?
Because she loves him.
Kolchak's coming back. That should, like, worry her. Well, actually, she looks kind of worried there. She doesn't look happy at the idea of just becoming engaged. Is she a spy?
I do say so myself, it's sensational. I'm sure it is, Carl.
Alright.
Is she a spy? Oh, that'd be a spoiler.
Okay, fine.
What's got into you, Vincenzo? You sick or something?
Nothing, this is all fine, Carl, fine. Jenks has been trying to reach you.
Is everybody just being weird around him because he's written up a news story about how he tracked a man down and
Oh no, you're about
hammered
to...
a stake through
you're
his
about to-
chest?
You're one hell of a reporter.
Thank you, sir.
Let me show how much you mean to me by taking you out for a nice steak dinner. Oh, eyebrows is back.
Right, good morning to all of you. Bernie, what did you,
Is your name Carl Kolchak, and do you reside in the city of Las Vegas?
Well, you know,
Right, so Andre the Giant, eyebrows, and the cigarette smoking man without any cigarettes all don't like him, but they look kind of sad.
No, the other guy in the background is his friend.
Yeah, but they all look sad at this point.
Well, listen.
You are under arrest.
they're gonna charge him with murder. They fucked him over.
Yeah, but I said they were.
But that's
like,
his
fucking
friend.
him over earlier on, and. But
Right, but see,
why would they let him go away, write the story, put the story out there, and then fucking arrest him?
But they didn't put the story out there. They're not gonna
So they
publish
just
it.
let him go away and write the story, and then arrest him.
Right.
Oh, because he's right.
They made a deal with
Because
him.
he's just written his own confession.
He hadn't even been charged. You broke up our stakeout, and after we were kind enough.
Is that what it is?
They know it. They knew it was a vampire,
Oh.
and they let him do what he needed to do. And now instead of letting it get out there, or the truth get out there, they're gonna charge him with murder, saying that he's crazy and everything. And the story's never gonna get out there because if it does, they're gonna indict him for murder.
So he had to write the story, otherwise.
No. He didn't write the story. He wrote the story because he thought they were going to let him write the story.
But their plan wouldn't have worked if he hadn't written the story.
Just sit down a minute and listen to them.
Bernie, you were there.
What? No. Their plan... Oh, goddamn. It's a movie, Gil. He killed the vampire. They saw him kill him. So now instead of letting him write everything, they're charging him with murder.
This morning, shortly before
See,
sunrise,
they wrote their own story.
command of Sheriff Warren A. Butcher 45.
Mhm.
Surrounded the home of Janos Skorzeny, a fugitive from a federal warrant, and in a pitch gun battle were forced to kill him.
Never. You'll never get away with it. What's to stop me?
You're gonna stop yourself, Kolchak.
Yeah, because he wrote the story.
Your mouth. We'll find you, bring you back, use this warrant, and put you away forever.
Because they can use the story that he wrote to have him sent away for being insane, at least.
They're not using the story.
No,
They
no,
saw
no.
him. They saw him murder the
No,
guy. That's what they're going to use.
Yeah, you're missing what I'm saying though. They're not using the story in that way. They're using the story as their leverage over him. Because
They're going to say he's crazy, thinking the guy was a vampire. And he went crazy and murdered the guy with a stake.
no, but their story is that he died in a gun battle.
Right. Because they don't want the world to know that he was a vampire.
But no, you're missing what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah, I'm not understanding what you're trying to say.
they let Kolchak kill the guy. Right.
Yes.
And then why didn't they arrest him, like, straight away? See, you don't know why they didn't arrest him straight away.
You let me know where you end up.
No.
They didn't arrest him straight away so that he could then go and write the story. So that then they have a copy of the story. What he was handing them was, he thought was a story that they were going to use, but in reality, it's...
They're not arresting him. They're not arresting him. They're letting him
Yes,
go. They're making.
but they've got
they're
the-
making him leave
No,
town.
but they've got the story.
Right around the neck.
They don't got
They
the
do
story.
have the story because he fucking handed it to Vincenzo.
Columns of newspapers.
Yeah, Vincenzo just threw it away because he can't print it.
But they've got his account
All right,
of
they have
everything.
his story.
So
Maybe it's just as well.
I
what
don't know
happened to Gill?
what you're getting at. They sent her out of town before he could talk to her. So now he lost track of her, and he never finds her.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
All right. Oh, then the next movie he doesn't really start looking for her, but
No, what I thought they did was they basically they put him in a no-win situation. Because if he says this guy was a vampire, then they use the story that he typed up to have him committed as criminally insane.
but they don't even need the story. They have a warrant for murder.
No, they're
going to use the warrant if he says anything.
Yeah,
For murder.
but the only thing that he can say that allows them to use the warrant is that guy was a vampire. That's,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying all along. If he says the guy was a vampire, then they say, we've got your story, so that proves that you're criminally insane, even though he knows that it proves that he's correct. Yeah. So, yeah, I picked up on something that you didn't. Yay!
I did, but...
You didn't, because you told me that wasn't true. Fuck you, Newty. That is what they did to him, is they got... The only reason they didn't arrest him is so he could write up the story. Otherwise, it makes no sense for them to not arrest him immediately upon finding him killing a fucking vampire with a stake.
No, they don't. They know that he saved them from a vampire, so they're letting him leave town. But they know the story
can never get out.
That's right. They don't want the story to get out, so they screwed him over. But they're not going to arrest him.
They can't screw him over if he hasn't written the story.
It's not about the story. It is about the story,
because they made... They made a point of when he went to see them, he's carrying his typewriter, right? And there's a thing about old typewriters like that, which is that basically you can easily prove whose typewriter typed a thing, because they all have their own little quirks and flaws and stuff that is like a tiny, tiny fingerprint. So because he typed it all up on his typewriter that's got his fucking name on it, then, you know, they just need a forensics expert to go, yeah, it was all typed up on his typewriter.
Okay. Alright, so we're at the end of the movie with the credits rolling here. How do we want to do a rating system, or what do we want to do with this?
It's entirely up to you. It's yours.
Well, just tell me what you think about it, because you know I like it.
No, I enjoyed it. That's a bit hammy, though. You know.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be hammy because, you know, it's an old show, like, and the budget's just low.
That bike stunt, though, that was good. That bike slide, though.
That was a pretty good stunt too, jumping out the window.
And I do think that is a callback to Blood of Dracula. Just that eyes thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the next film, which I will also watch without having ever seen it. So,
well, it's pretty much all of them. You're gonna
I'm going to do that for. I'm going to do that for all of it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. Well, you know, I don't think we'll go with a rating system. We'll just talk about if we like it or if we don't like it, because it's hard to rate. I hate rating shit, you know. And like I said, I'm a fan. And there are some episodes of the series that I'm not a huge fan of. So, you know, I won't like everything.
You were telling me that you only like 3 of the episodes.
No, that's not what I said. I said I have 3. I have 3 really favorites, but I
was
do
actually
like a
just
lot
lying there. But partly you did tell me something about 3 episodes. So there you go.
Well, I told you I like a couple of the episodes, like I like a lot, but yeah, there's some good, there's some bad, and there's some in the middle of the road of some of the episodes, you know. And when we get there, we'll do.
Yeah, it'll probably be the same. It'll be the same with this show.
Yeah. I hope if whoever's listening, I hope you enjoy this, or whoever's watching actually. I hope you enjoy this, and until we meet again with our next Guilty as Charged, it will be The Night Strangler. Yeah, you see, we've got a planned thing for we're going to have a sign off at the end of every episode, and you fucked it up. Yeah. I thought I said until next time.
Until next time, we will be
Guilty as Charged.